What's going on, boys and girls? This is BBD with BBD TV, the biggest Tennessee Volunteers fan on YouTube. And you're watching the two Irish brothers. Shout out to the Notre Dame Fighting Irish. Go Vols.
Going deep for Smith. Irv Smith. What a run by Smith. Look at that. Touchdown. Oh, my.
What's up, everyone? I am ND Sean 45.
I'm Irish Benjamin 57.
And together, we are the two Irish brothers. Now, of course, you guys know the drill. Hit that subscribe tab in the bottom right-hand corner. Like or dislike the video to help with the algorithm. And look for us on all social media platforms posted below. Now, in this episode, we have a very important topic to discuss. Ben and I were talking about this over the weekend, and this has actually been a trend all across YouTube and Twitter. We've been reading a lot of comments about it, seeing people talk about it, the NIL. And Ben, you brought this to my attention on some thoughts that you had. So the platform is essentially yours right now because you're the one that brought these ideas to my attention.
The NIL is continuing to evolve, and, we're in the first actual few years of said NIL being in place. And as the train, if you will, keeps on chugging along, states and schools and the NCAA and everything in between are setting more and more rules, if you will, in place to avoid legality issues with student athletes and colleges and even high schools. And the most recent one on the NIL train is the Kentucky High School Athletic Association has set a new standard and benefits policy for high school student athletes. So this affects not only Notre Dame as a program, but every program everywhere from Division I all the way down to Division IV. For any sort of NIL benefits out of the state of Kentucky. And, currently Notre Dame doesn't have a guy in the 2023 or the 2024 class yet out of the state of Kentucky. Actually, one of our last guys was
Michael Mayer.
But, it's a lot of you can't use a logo if it's the high school's logo to make money off of a lot of common sense things, but things that the legality of it is put to a T basically. And then they also have restrictions and allowances and likenesses, not only on the use of a name, but the use of an image. They have legit definitions. So obviously Marcus Freeman and his staff are currently, one would hope that they are currently very much aware of this new set of standards. But this will affect Notre Dame recruiting. I mean, this is a huge thing. And this is one of 50 states, not counting outside of the United States, like Canada and even Australia, who we've seen guys, and even Africa, because we have seen a couple guys come from Africa as well, into the NCAA, whether it's football, basketball, baseball, field hockey, you name it. This affects everything. So this is one of easily 50, I'd say 53, 54 different rules, for states and territories across the world that is NIL related. So it's really interesting to see how these things are morphing and how, this is changing and how much of an impact this will have on other universities, but most importantly, Notre Dame. And as we're going to talk about in upcoming projects, this is all about getting to the next stage. And the next stage for Notre Dame obviously is the national championship. So these things affect that journey, if you will.
Yeah. And also, Ben, something that I've been seeing across, social media, whether it be Facebook, Twitter, whatever. And I get how the NIL works, but there's a lot of people that don't, because some people think that this money comes straight from the university. Believe it or not, I've read those comments.
Yes.
But that's not the case at all. What it is the university puts the prospect or the recruit or the player, once they sign on the dotted line, they put them in connection with a company or whatever that will pay them that money. So, like, let's say this big stud linebacker comes to Notre Dame. He's bound to be great. He's going to do some great things, but he wants to make some NIL money. Well, the university, like, let's say there's a major car dealership nearby. They can put that prospect in connection with this car dealership, and yes, he can start running ads for them. He can, start doing commercials, all that stuff.
Yeah.
And that's how he makes his money. But to all those people out there, no, the money does not get paid to the recruit or the athlete by the university. The university sets them up.
Yes.
So just to clarify for those people who don't know. But on that note, Ben, before we go any further, we have some big news to announce to everybody.
Mm-hmm. Our partner, our new partner.
Yeah, we actually have a sponsor.
Mm-hmm.
If you are a partner, whatever you want to refer it to it as, it is from a company called Dubby Energy. When we're not lying, people. So finally, I've said this as a joke in the past, but this is the real deal. Let's hear a word from our official sponsor.
What is up? It is Ben from the Two Irish Brothers, and I want to talk to you about our friends at Dubby. What is Dubby? Dubby is an energy drink company that is no BS. This is an energy drink that has no fillers, no maltodextrin, no fake dyes. These are energy drinks made specifically to help you be better. Make Dubby part of your morning routine, or even your workout routine, or better yet, make it part of your Notre Dame routine when you're watching the Notre Dame Fighting Irish march on to victory. Make Dubby part of your routine today and use our unique code that is TIB ROCKS, that is TIB ROCKS, at checkout for 10% off your order. Dubby, energy drinks made specifically to help you be better.
Now, folks, I'm telling you right now, that's just a start. We will make these commercials a lot more better. But Ben, great job on the first commercial to at least get started.
Yes.
And I'd never heard of this product before or this company, but they're taking a chance on us, so I'm going to have to give their product a try. So with that said, Ben, getting back to the topic here. So what do you think that Notre Dame needs to do going forward with how things are breaking down here with the NIL and especially the state of Kentucky, since they're the latest ones to make their own stipulations and bylaws?
I mean, Notre Dame needs to make a bigger splash. That's the bottom line. I mean, there's only so much that Notre Dame legend and Notre Dame great Brady Quinn can do for the university when it comes to the NIL. And we got to have a bigger splash because we're seeing other programs land big name guys. And I can guarantee that a huge selling point for a lot of them is the NIL deal that they are going to sign. Alabama, Clemson, A&M's kind of jumped into it, even though A&M really hasn't done much yet. But, those schools have taken full advantage and really, quote unquote, cashed in, if you will, through the NIL. And the NIL is here to stay. That's the bottom line. And as we commented on another Notre Dame YouTube channel's post, one of their videos, you can either get left behind, or you can make a big splash and jump in and take full advantage and cash in. And that's what Notre Dame has to do if they want to have a national championship contention. I mean, if they want to be in contention for the national championship, this is one of the things that they have to do. And time will tell. I mean, Freeman is very, very new. He's in his quote unquote second full year, because we're not going to count
Yeah,
the
there's always
Fiesta Bowl appearance.
adjustments.
We're not going to count the Fiesta Bowl appearance as a year. That was thrust into that position due to an incredible.
That was still a part of Brian Kelly's last
But
season.
this is technically year 2 for Marcus Freeman in this 2023 season. So, he's learning all this just like we are. And the other thing is too, all these coaches that are currently coaching, whether it's Nick Saban or Marcus Freeman or Van Gundy, all these coaches, they're learning too. This is all new, uncharted waters for everybody. So we're all learning this and we're all taking a stab at it. And the only people that really know this inside and out are the legal experts that deal with the contracts of said NIL for these student athletes. So only time will tell. That's the big bottom line here. And Kentucky will be one of many, and we'll see it go even further because there's currently, not just with Kentucky, there is currently stuff going on in the state of California, which is a huge thing for Notre Dame, where we have a huge connection with recruits, and not only just recruits, but former Notre Dame players. California is continuously doing stuff all the way at the top in the government aspect of it on down when it comes to the NIL. So this is going to be an ever-evolving issue and situation until there is a legit set precedent, whether it's from the United States government or just the NCAA as a whole. So we will see. We'll see.
And one thing, Ben, that I'm glad you brought up was the whole Texas A&M situation. And to be fair, we have to look at this from all angles. Whether you love it, hate it, doesn't matter. Like you said, the NIL is here to stay. But first off, with the guys that we currently have on the Notre Dame roster, these are guys that we can win with. So let's make that clear. We have a lot of talent that we can win with and beat all the 5-star schools, like the guys that have the teams that have 5 stars across the board. We are capable of beating them with the guys that we do have, because people forget 5 stars can flop out, but that's a different discussion. But when you mention Texas A&M, that can also show how the NIL can be a flop in its own self too. Now, of course, it does matter how it's coached and managed and so on, because coaching does have an influence on that too. But what I'm saying is the NIL doesn't always guarantee victories on the field. That's what I'm getting at.
Yes.
So you got to look at the pros and cons of everything involving the NIL is what I'm saying.
Yes. Yep. I totally agree. Yeah.
But do I think Notre Dame should take advantage of it if it's there? Yeah. If there's a guy that you really want, take advantage of it. It's not really a shady thing. It's not a bad thing. But as I've said before, I think there does need to be some limits on it, because I can understand kids wanting to make some money, because not all these kids are rich. Mom and dad doesn't have the money to give them. So they want to have some money while they're there. And it can be tough on a college student. I get that. So yeah, that's all I really have to add on it, man.
Yeah. Well, this is a perfect stopping point. I mean, this is perfect. And we've covered this part, which is Kentucky, and we will continue to cover this as the season rolls on and as more stuff continues to evolve and gets dropped. This is just the latest. So if you like this video, like we say, hit that like button, or better yet, smash that like button down below.
No, the subscribe button.
And when you hit the subscribe button, if you are a new subscriber, make sure you hit that little bell icon at the top, so you never miss a video or a short or even a posting in our community, because we post from time to time in our community on YouTube. So hit that little bell icon so you never miss a thing. And as always, have a great day. God bless.
Go Irish. And of course, since we just featured it today, take advantage of Dubby if you are an energy drink fan or a workout freak or whatever. Take advantage of it, 10% off. So have a good one, everyone. God bless, and go Irish.
Go Irish.